In the Buddha's era, monks often gathered and spoke about topics that were on their minds. In one particular instance, the monks were talking about the Buddha's great renunciation. He was the crowned prince of a large and wealthy nation. He was married to a beautiful woman of high status and had recently had a son. Yet, he renounced all of this to pursue a higher goal. When the Buddha joined them, he asked the monks what they had been talking about. When they told him, he said, "This is not the only life in which I have performed a great renunciation." The monks knew that the Buddha could see into past lives, and they requested the story to be told. A long time ago, a king named Mahachanaka reigned in Mithila in the kingdom of Videha. He had 2 sons, Arita Chanaka and Pola Chanaka. He made the elder his viceroy, and the younger the commander of the armies. After King Mahachanaka passed away, Arita Chanaka became king, and he made Pola Chanaka his viceroy. After some time, the slaves began whispering rumors about the viceroy planning to kill the king and take the crown. At first, the king was reluctant to believe these rumors, but after multiple slaves told the same story, he began to wonder if there was any truth to the rumors. King Arita Chanaka ordered his loyal brother to be put in chains and imprisoned in a house not far from the palace. Pola Chanaka, knowing that he was innocent of the charges, relied on his history of truthfulness and made a solemn asseveration. "If I've ever been my brother's enemy, may my chains stay heavy and true. May the door stay locked and sturdy. But if I have never been my brother's enemy, nor have I wished harm upon him, or wished to take his throne, by the virtue of this truth, may my chains be loosened and the door unlocked." After making his asseveration of truth, his chains fell off of him and the door flew open. Pola Chanaka fled to a frontier village and took up residence there. The people there recognized him, and after hearing his tale, sided with him. When the king sent soldiers to apprehend Pola Chanaka, the inhabitants protected Pola Chanaka, refusing to allow him to be arrested. In due time, Pola Chanaka became the master of frontier villages. After amassing a large following, he said to himself, "I was not my brother's enemy before, but now I am." Pola Chanaka mustered up a huge force and laid siege to Mithila. The army demanded that King Arita Chanaka come out and give battle. Inside the palace, King Arita Chanaka knew he had no choice but to battle. He regretted what he did to his brother, but knew it was too late to make amends. He decided to bid farewell to his pregnant wife and queen. He said, "My love, victory and defeat in battle cannot be foretold. If I were to fall, you must do all you can to protect our child that you carry inside you." King Arita Chanaka and his army gave battle, but they were not on the side of right, and they were not able to fight with full muster. Eventually, King Arita Chanaka was overcome and slain. When the queen heard the news, her heart broke into 1,000,000 pieces, but she knew she needed to protect her unborn child. She put her gold, her finest jewelry, and her treasures into an old worn basket and placed it on her head. She dressed in dirty rags and disfigured herself so as not to be recognizable. She left out of the northern gate, and no one was the wiser. She did not have a good sense of direction. All she knew was that she should go to Kalachampa, but she didn't know where it was, or how she would get there. Saka, the lord of the Devas, was residing in his celestial palace in the Tawatimsa heaven. Suddenly, the entire palace shook. Saka considered what could cause this, and realized a being of great merit was in distress. He looked down into the world, and saw that the Bodhisattva, a future Buddha, had taken form in his mother's belly. His and his mother's life were currently in jeopardy, and Saka decided to intervene. So, Saka created a covered wagon with a bed inside, and he himself transformed into a traveler. As he drove by the queen, he yelled, "Heading to Kalachampa! Anyone need a ride?" The queen, not believing her great luck, said, "Father, I wish to go there. Do you have room for a lone pregnant woman?" "Of course, my child. In all the lands, no one drives a smoother carriage than I." Once inside the wagon, the queen surprisingly fell asleep. Saka, by his divine power, made the journey unnaturally smooth and quick. They covered the great distance in less than a day. When the queen woke up and looked outside, she could not believe her eyes. She was standing outside the gates of Kalachampa, a city that would normally take days to reach. She thanked the driver, who quickly disappeared. The queen entered the city. Not knowing where to go or what to do, the queen went to rest in a nearby hall. At that time, an old Brahmin who dwelt with 500 disciples in Kalachampa happened to see her sitting there. He quickly noticed her beauty and elegance in spite of her tattered clothing. Most importantly, due to the power and aura of the being in her womb, the Brahmin immediately felt an affection for the queen. The Brahmin sat down next to her and said, "Sister, where do you come from?" "Sir, I am the chief queen of King Aritachanaka in Mithila." "Then why are you here pregnant and alone, dressed in rags?" "The king was killed by Pola Chanaka, and I have fled to save my unborn child." And with this, the queen began to sob. The Brahmin felt great pity for her, and his affection for her grew. He viewed her as a younger sister and wished to protect her. He devised a plan. He told her, "Sister, do not be anxious. I am a Brahmin of a great family, and a famed teacher with many disciples. I will watch over you, and take care of you as if you were my sister. Now, cry out loud and call me brother and hug my feet, as if we were just now reunited." The queen wailed out loud and fell at his feet. The Brahmin then said, "My sister, long has it been since we have been together. Arise and let us resume our family." The Brahmin's disciples rejoiced in their teacher's luck in finding his long-lost sister. The Brahmin brought the queen to his house and introduced her as his long-lost sister. His wife gave her a hot water bath and took care of her with love and affection. What do you think the moral of this story is? We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads.